kind of know the psychological reasons of why young people get caught up in the stuff they get caught up in. You know, so to expound on that, tell me a little bit more, and let's get back before you get into that, man. I want to speak on how when you finally made it home after the years, man. Tell me about the endeavor you went through as you was waiting to get back to your home state. Tell the people about that.
Well, going back to the day that I was released, they released me after 16 and a half years. And so I had to go report to a parole officer. And when I report to a parole officer, mind you, this is not my home state, was Virginia. It was not my home state.
Right.
I was just there because that's where I was stationed at. So once I went to see my parole officer, and they told me that I actually have been released to nowhere. I'm like, wow, how can I be released to nowhere? Come to find out, they never did their job. They never verified my address. They never did anything. They left me stuck in the state of Virginia. Mind you, it was February, so it's the winter time. So I said, you could just let me go back to Dallas. What do you mean? What are you talking about? They said, well, you can't go back. Like, why I can't go back? They said, because we haven't released you to leave the state of Virginia. So I'm like, they didn't understand. I didn't understand that at all. So I'm like, so what are you telling me? So I'm homeless? So they basically told me I am. I said, so I'm homeless in the state that's not my state, in the city I'm hardly familiar with, and you telling me to survive in it? And
you can't can't go back to Texas.
I couldn't go back to Texas. And so I said, so you guys are setting me up. I said, because I don't know how to survive. I don't know how to be homeless. So, but if I were to go steal something to eat because I'm hungry, because I don't know where to go get food at without money, you guys will lock me right back up. Am I correct? She said, yeah, you'd be breaking the law. I said, well, isn't this some kind of isn't this some kind of law that y'all breaking? It feel like it is. But anyway,
that's wild.
End up, yeah, it is. It's crazy, but I made it through. A person that I had knew, actually that I met in the system. He asked the lady, well, can he come stay with me? And the woman said, yeah, man, he had a brand new wife. And brother just took me in based upon who he knew I was in there. And so we went to his house, and I was there only a couple of days. And when I was there, we was going out doing a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork that has to be done once you're released, trying to get your life back together. So we were doing a lot of paperwork. We had left that morning, and we driving back up to his house. And I said, hey, who is that at your house? He said, where? I said, right there, somebody at your house, somebody on your porch. So he said, oh, sure is. So he drove past his house. And when he drove past his house, he lived like on a corner house. And I can see somebody at his back door. So somebody's now at his front door, somebody's at his back door. I said, hey, man, somebody's at your back door. I said, that person that was on your porch is looking through your mail. And I said, and somebody's at your back door. I don't know what they're doing at your back door, but somebody's at your back door, man. And so we called the police. And we circled the house again. Now the person that was at the front door is now at the back door. And there was a woman that was at the front door. And so once we walked around and pulled in his driveway to confront these people, the person shot me.
Wow.
Yeah,
You ain't asked no questions. He just turned around and shot you.
Yeah, he shot me, and the woman took off running, and the guy had us at gunpoint, you know, and yeah, he shot me. He was trying to actually kill me because I heard the other shots. He shot several shots, and I heard the other shots as they whizzed past me, but he got me on one of the shots. But anyway, once I went to the court, man, I found out this woman was his mother, and that was her son. So they were breaking in the house. He was a 17-year-old kid, and his mom was helping him break in houses. They were breaking in people's houses together. Wow. And I was like, man, this is like what have the world come to?
So you got awakened. You got welcome back to the real world in a unique fashion, huh?
I did. I did. And I was like, wow, everything have changed so much. People was so different out here, man. It was nothing like I remember. It was actually the people that's out here in the world, man. They actually worse than the people that we was incarcerated with.
I think drugs is the #1 reason for that. People inside, they on drugs too, but they can't really abuse it like they want to, like the people do out here, just let everything go, just to get whatever it is they want to get high off of, man. And you know,
well, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Probably when you went in, crack had just really hit the street. You know what I mean? Like everybody wasn't selling or using crack like they are now.
Correct.
It was a handful of people maybe that was experimenting with the lifestyle, and by the time you hit the system, most of them probably was right behind you. You know?
Yeah, they were.
So
they were.
And then getting back to Texas after all that, man. And I know I didn't have no children when I was inside. Like you did. I went in very young, man. But I used to be by you sometime. Like I'd be on the phone sometime, and you would pull up, get on the phone, call your daughter, man. And I couldn't help but overhear sometimes the way you was parenting her over the phone. I said, man, it's deep. You know what I mean? And it kind of inspired me to get into those type of conversations with people, man. You know that? Just to get especially females. Like I want to really cut through all the craziness and get to what I see or what I think it is. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I used to hear you educating her like that, man. Then you go through what you went through, getting released. Then you get back to Texas, and then you find out that the little girl that you've been communicating with your whole bid, that whole 16 and a half, how old was she when you got home?
She had turned 17. But she was 1 when I got incarcerated, I think. So she turned 17.
And I know all you used to talk about, man. All you used to talk about to me was like the only extracurricular thing I ever seen you involved in, besides reading books. I saw I know you was into the weights. I know you could play chess. But other than that, the only other extracurricular thing I seen you passionate about was that Texas football, man. And them Dallas Cowboys. That's the only thing I might see you get a little favorable about, or if it don't go your way, you might show a little bit of, you know what I mean. But other than that, even on the chess
that was my connection to the house, man. And then plus I was watching some people I knew that was action on some of them teams. I knew them, so I get a little excited to watch them dudes. play football and watch them become superstars or how people look at them. I was a little invested into them guys, man. and it was my connection to the house too.
I never even seen you get upset. But I never really seen you lose on the chess. Did you ever lose? Did you ever lose to anybody that I was playing against at that time?
Yeah, I lost. I can't remember.
It had to been K had to been the one to beat you if you lost.
Yeah, that's who beat me. Yeah. He beat me. Yeah, we used to play long games too, and he had a hard time with me.
Yeah, K is a chess guru, man. I didn't play him out here. He didn't beat me up out here on the chessboard. So ain't nothing changed, man. I didn't got a whole lot better, but you know, I be hitting him with a lot of slugs now though. We play maybe 10 times. I'm gonna get 2 or 3. He ain't gonna just win everything. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I done got a little better. But so now you back dealing with her. How was it when you first got back to Texas and you touched base with your daughter for the first time?
Oh man, when we touched base for the first time, she was all we did was talk, and you know, I would go get her and we eat some food together, and she just talk to her like, man, my daughter can really talk. and so she was like way opposite than I was, because I wasn't a big time talker. And so she used to be like, Daddy, why you don't smile? Or whatever, you know. I said, well, I do. I'm smiling now, but that's not a smile. That's just a little grin.
Right.
I said, well, that's all you gonna get from me. But yeah, she talked and she let me know. She asked me a lot of questions, trying to get to know me personally, what I like, and I used to catch her staring at me a lot. You know, I guess she was studying me, and so she was telling me all about what she was doing. She was in track and field at that time. And
that's why I kind of brought up how you was passionate about Texas football. So when you find out, did she get a full scholarship?
She did. She got a full scholarship. She was like the number 2 girl in the nation at that time in high school, in the 200.
Wow. So what college did she end up going to?
She ended up going to TCU.
Texas Christian?
Yes.
What conference is that, man? What conference they play in? You know?
Big 12.
Big 12?
Yes.
Oh, so they play in the same conference as Texas then?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when she went against Texas, who was you rooting for? TCU or Texas?
Well, no, hold on. I take that back. I think they wasn't in the Big 12. Then I think they came like a year or 2 later into the Big 12, okay, if I remember correctly.
But they probably still was going against Texas, though, right?
Oh yeah, they are. So she of course, you know, I'm gonna go with her.
Okay.
You know, if she run against anybody, because it's an individual sport. So if she run against anybody, you know, I'm in her corner.
Do you recall her ever running against Texas, though?
I didn't. I don't remember her running against Texas.
Okay.
Well, a lot of times I wasn't able to see her because I was going to school and I was going to work, and it was killing all my time. So when she do get to run, it will conflict with what I was already doing. You know, of course, I can't miss school, and of course, I can't miss work. You know, so not at that time, at least, because I was trying to establish myself.
Right.
So I ended up missing a lot of her runs, or she'll tell me the day of the run, you know, or the day before. So she didn't give me a lot of room to make adjustments in order to beat her, to see her run a lot. But she would often be on TV and stuff like that, or I remember she did an excellent interview, and I remember she.
Hello, you still there?
Hey, you know, and that made me feel good, made me feel proud of her.
Yeah, I lost you for a minute. You said, I heard you say she did an interview, and what did you say after that?
Well, I was just saying that I remember her doing an interview on TV, but one of them, you know, sometimes I get to see her like that, you know, or because she either tell me too late to where I can't make an arrangement, or either that day of or the day before, and I couldn't make arrangements to be at her track meets, you know,
right.
which they normally usually last all day, you know, and I'm trying to establish myself on these jobs and at this school. You know, I couldn't ask for any favors, you know. But I remember she used to take me around to her coach, and she was like, "This is my daddy," you know, and like she like real proud when she said, you know, and that made me proud of her.
Wow.
You know, like, man, you know, I meant something to her.
That's great, man. So then tell me about the little one you got now, Zoe, man. You know what?
Zoe.
It was crazy to me when I heard her on the phone with my son, man, and they was chopping it up like, you know, no big deal.
Like they know each other.
Right.
Yeah, and the one, my daughter now, she's 11 years old. She's man, she's real smart little girl. I mean, man, some of the stuff that come out of her mouth is, I'm like, man.
I be hearing her, man, like when they be playing a little game or whatever online. Mm-hmm. I can tell her vocabulary is very advanced for an 11-year-old. You know?
Yes. That's one of the games she played with her grandfather. You know,